Welcome to the Primetime. I'm Chimo. In the news tonight, SPP Governors Forum. NBS says food prices witness upward rise in Nigeria. From the foreign scene, over 260 dead in India train crash. And in sports, Manchester City wins FA Cup. And now to the story. President Bola Tinubu has called on leaders with humility of authority, urging Nigerians to embrace charity to the less privileged and legacy projects. Tinubu made the call while commissioning the National Assembly Jumat Mosque, built by the Muslim Ummah in Abuja, represented by the Vice President, Shotima. Nature of life, them to be kind to humanity and live a worthy life of emulation. He commended all the people involved in many ways towards the completion of the mosque project. The Chairman, National Assembly Mosque Project Management Committee, Senator Ibrahim Shekarau, said a total sum of 570 million naira was realized from the contribution from lawmakers to build the magnificent state-of-the-art edifice. The President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, further disclosed that each Muslim senator contributed 400,000 naira monthly, while members of the House of Representatives contributed 250,000 to the project.
I'm here fundamentally to felicitate with the Muslim Ummah in the National Assembly for contributing resources to build this edifice. Most especially, we have to recognize the crucial role played by the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, without whose consent not a single deduction could have been effected for the construction of this mosque. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we should all consider ourselves as travelers. From where? From God. To where? To God. What are our bags and baggages? They are our deeds in this world.
Let me thank those who made all the contributions. But one thing is also very definite and clear, and that is maintaining this mosque. Those who made the contributions, 400,000 per month for a senator, 250,000 per month for a member of the House of Representatives of the 9th Assembly. We have our brothers and sisters who will come in the next session of the Assembly, the 10th National Assembly. I believe that the maintenance of this mosque should be our business as well, because that is continuing with our investment. But of course, what would be expected may not be too much like we had contributed for the initial building. A certain figure, a minimal figure, just to be in our coffers to maintain the mosque and of course provide services to our Muslim brothers and sisters wherever necessary.
This agreement was realized with a total sum of 570 million contributed by the legislators and management staff. Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the magnificent state-of-the-art edifice you are about to commission is the result of the moral and financial commitment of Muslim members of the 9th session of the National Assembly and Muslim staff of the National Assembly. Apart from earning Allah's pleasure, these lawmakers have set the pace and made history by providing what is long overdue to the Muslim members of this huge legislative community. Arguably, this is the first mosque built in the National Assembly complex since it was established 42 years ago. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all abundantly.
Of your state, she subsidy, though is for a member of the opposition party, People's Democratic Party, stated these when he visited President Bola Tinubu in the presidential villa in company of former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and former governor of Delta State, James Ibori. The Oyo State governor, however, disclosed that the main purpose of their meeting was to show support to President Bola Tinubu and also talk about other issues of national interest. He said elections are over and the country must move toward governance. Wike also expressed support for the incoming Tinubu administration and expressed optimism that he, Tinubu, will turn the country around.
There's nothing to be said. He has a country to run, and then for us, we have to support him, and we have to let him know that he has started well, and he has the support of the generality of the people.
Did you discuss the issue of fuel subsidies?
Yes, we discussed it. It's something that is, on top of the public discourse right now. And yeah, we know it's a tough decision for the people, and it needs the support of everybody to see this through.
So what about the ministerial list? We understand one of you has been appointed.
Who is that? Nobody's listening.
No information about that?
Governor Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State has been elected the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP Governors Forum. Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State emerged the vice chairman of the PDP Governors Forum. Mohammed and Fubara emerged on Saturday at a retreat for elected PDP officials at the Banquet Hall Government House in Bauchi State. Mohammed replaced his counterpart, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, who also attended the PDP retreat. In his opening remarks at the retreat, the acting national chairman of PDP, Umar Damagum, said, as the opposition in the National Assembly and in order to remain relevant, PDP must work together as one family. Meanwhile, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar at the event groaned over the decision of President Bola Tinubu to remove fuel subsidy, saying the policy was announced without providing alternatives. In the meantime, the race for the next president of the Senate has begun in earnest, even before the inauguration of distinguished members of the 10th National Assembly. It's no secret that interested candidates for the top job have started intense lobbying amongst members-elect of the Red Chamber, both within the same party and the oppositions. This report by our senior correspondent, Fatou Kikunle, takes a look at the horse trading persuasions behind the scene in the polity as the next president of the Senate hots up. The race for the next Senate president is clearly on and has already intensified day by day ahead of inauguration of the 10th National Assembly as president of the Senate, with the multi-party representation in the Senate this time around. But it will not be winner takes all as hitherto played out in previous allocation of Senate leadership and other principal offices. Presently, the top contenders for the hot seat are the current Senate President Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, Yobe North, Ali Ndume, Borno South, Akpabio Godswill, Akwa Ibom North, Jibrin Sani Musa, Niger East, and Osita Izunaso Imo West, and Orji Uzokalu, Abia North, who said it was his turn to be the president of the Senate.
Among those who are aspiring, who have shown their intentions, who are aspiring, I am the one that is the most experienced. The issue is that of competence. It's competence. You need to be grounded in the procedure of legislation before you are able to be the president of the Senate.
The oldest senator in both Southeast and South-South. I think the question should be obvious. I'm the oldest. There is no senator today in APC of Southeast or South-South that's older than me in the Senate. And that is an institution that believes in ranking. So I'm the highest ranking senator in both Southeast and South-South. I came to the Senate in 2007. I was in the House of Reps.
Economy. If we practice true democracy, I should not be in contest with anybody in this position. Because apart from the Senate President himself, Deputy Senate President Mogege, the Senate Leader Gobe, I'm the highest ranking member of the Senate.
Analysts believe that as a matter of equity and justice, these two geopolitical zones should be considered for the next president of the Senate, and that it will be appropriate for the South-South and the Northwest to synergize and work towards producing the next president.
Barao is from Kano. He was my colleague in the House when I was in the House of Reps. When was that? 1999, 2003. It's not impossible for a very good politician that those that knows how this tactical way is done. It's a method. The Barao will know what to do to make sure the zone Senate to the north.
The Southwest says that they are jostling that, yes, by virtue of rotation and all, that they are entitled to be given the office of the Senate President. No, it doesn't work that way. If the APC and the party is magnanimous that say yes, okay, for balancing sake, okay. But then we all know that there will always be a reward for hard work. The Northwest, the Northeast, the North Central delivered seriously to the winning party. And if anything at all, consideration should go there.
With the governing All Progressives Congress APC garnering a simple majority at the upper legislative chamber, the party has begun moves to ensure that it puts round pegs in round holes in the leadership of the Red Chamber. Although the party is not finding it easy in its search for a consensus candidate for the office of Senate President, the issue of zoning has pitched the Southeast and South-South geopolitical zones in hot contest for the coveted office.
But be it as it may be, it is pertinent for everyone here to know that I intend to declare my intention when I see the zoning. But for now, my intent is to go for the presidency of the Senate. But in any case, we want a country where everyone will feel at home and united.
The serious politicking and horse trading are on among the contenders for the seat of the President of the Senate and their respective political parties, leading to a choice which needs to be predicated on the power of cohesion, articulation, display of brotherhood, sincerity of purpose, and intense lobbying of other geopolitical zones and party leaderships to bring to fruition their desire for the seat of the 10th Senate presidency. Moving on to other news, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says prices of food items such as tomatoes, beans, and yams witnessed increases in April, just as the average price of 1 kg of tomato on a year-on-year basis rose by 13.73% from 426 naira in April 2022 to 485 naira in April 2023. It made the declaration in its Selected Food Prices Watch report for April, issued in Abuja on Saturday. The report also showed the average price of 1 kg of brown beans sold loose increased by 16.3% on a year-on-year basis from 530 naira in April 2022 to 615 naira in April 2023. It stated also that the average price of 1 kg of onion bulb rose by 15.87% on a year-on-year basis from 380 naira in April 2022 to 441 naira in April 2023. The report stated also that the average price of 1 kg of yam rose by 23.12% on a year-on-year basis from 361 naira in April 2022 to 444 naira in April 2023. The National Administrative Council of Amalgamated Union of App-Based Transport Workers of Nigeria, OUTONE, has demanded an increase in the operational charges on Uber, Bolt, and others. The president of OUTONE, Damola Adeniro, briefing the media on the union emergency meeting, revealed that the union is using the opportunity to call on the app companies to immediately respond and act on the union's demand, even as the pressure from all app-based transport workers on the street increases. Adeniro, who was represented by the Vice National President Adebayo, Pay More Leadership, lamented and empathized with all app-based transport workers across Nigeria on the effect of fuel subsidy removal, which has now led to over 265% to 300% increase in official fuel pump price, ranging from 488 naira per litre to 557 naira per litre, as against 184 naira per litre and 200 naira per litre, respectively.
OUTONE demands that no app company deactivate any of our drivers as a result of this fuel subsidy. Before we can support the subsidy removal, there must be a welfareism package for our drivers, for people to be able to sustain, to meet the end needs of our drivers. There's some palliative have to come in places so that a cushion effect about it, everybody will feel the effect that this government actually mean well for us, not by punishing us, by not able to meet up our needs in the community. Everybody have a family to feed. By the time we increase the fare and the app company did not implement it, it will be a disaster for our drivers. That is the reason why we must not support it now until something is being done about it. Great OUTONE.
Great. We want our government to quickly review the price. We have women, single moms, single ladies out there that are trying to meet end meets. They are out there driving day and night. The effect, the ripple of this subsidy is telling on them. We want the government to listen to us. We want them to act immediately. Let them review the prices so that we can go back and continue with our normal businesses.
I want to seek endurance of our member to just pay attention. Whatever decision that Nigeria Labour Congress resolve today, it will be our priority. If they ask us to go into strike, every one of our members should prepare. This is not the time of story. Everybody must off his app immediately. They give us the information. That is the most important thing I want to tell our member. Your support is our success. And our success is our survival of living. Our survival of living is to take care of our family. I want everybody to know we have to sacrifice this time around to get what we need.
You're still watching the Primetime News on MITV. We'll take a break now to bring you stories from the foreign scene.
Our boss was like, a decent fashion designer only gets home at midnight.
Midway.
Man like Osimhen, Papa just the chop Italian league like
These are real housewives of Abuja. Those women are fire. What does OJ say again? My relationship with money is
Alhamdulillah! No one tells a story like we do. Showmax, Africa's original streaming service.
Welcome back. At least 261 people have been killed and 650 are injured in a crash involving 3 trains in India's eastern Odisha state. But the cause of the country's worst train crash this century is not yet clear. One passenger train derailed and its coaches fell onto the adjacent track where they were struck by an incoming train. Officials said the rescue operation at the crash site has ended. Officials said several carriages from the Chennai-Coromandel Express derailed in Balasore district, hit a stationary goods train, and several of its coaches ended up on the opposite track. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has been sworn in as head of state after winning an historic runoff election to extend his 2-decade rule for another 5 years. The 69-year-old leader will later on Saturday name his cabinet, which will be tasked with handling an economic crisis that has witnessed runaway inflation and the collapse of the lira. Saturday's inauguration was followed by a lavish ceremony at the presidential palace in the capital, attended by dozens of world leaders. Turkey's longest-serving leader faces considerable diplomatic challenges amid tensions with the West. We'll take another break to bring you sport news. Manchester City are 1 game away from a historic treble after Ike Gundogan scored twice to beat Manchester United 2-1 in the FA Cup final on Saturday as Pep Guardiola's men completed a domestic double at Wembley. Gundogan scored the fastest goal in FA Cup final history after just 12 seconds. United leveled on 33 minutes through Bruno Fernandes' penalty after Jack Grealish was harshly penalized for handball. But the City captain, in what could be his final game for the club on English soil, volleyed home the winner 6 minutes into the second half. And talking tennis, world #1 Iga Swiatek sent out a message to her French Open title rivals by thumping Chinese player Wang Xingyu without losing a game to reach the 4th round on Saturday. Swiatek aiming to become the first woman to successfully defend the trophy at Roland Garros since Justin Henin in 2007 won 6-love, 6-love in just 51 minutes on court Philippe Chatrier. Swiatek, who also won the title in 2020 and is targeting a 4th Grand Slam triumph, will face either 2019 US Open champion Bianca Andreescu or Ukraine's Lesia Surenko on Monday for a quarter-final berth. Her path to the final was made easier earlier on Saturday by the withdrawal of Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina, a possible last-four opponent due to illness. And in athletics, Faith Kipyegon has warned that there's more to come after adding women's 1,500 meters world record to a stellar career path that has already seen her bag 2 world and 2 Olympic golds over the distance. The 29-year-old Kenyan clocked 3 minutes 49 seconds in Florence to shatter the previous record of 3 minutes 50 seconds set by Ethiopia's Ganzebe Dibaba in Monaco in 2015. Kipyegon, considered the greatest ever woman in the discipline, crushed the rest of the field in Tuscany, finishing more than 8 seconds ahead of reigning European champion Laura Muir, while Jessica Hall set an Australian and Oceania record of 3 minutes 57 seconds in third. And now a recap of the top stories. We told you that the Bauchi governor has emerged PDP Governors Forum leader. The MBS says food prices has witnessed an upward rise in Nigeria. And from the foreign scene, we said over 260 are dead in India train crash. And in sports, Manchester City wins English FA Cup. Thanks for watching. I am Jumoke Michaels. Good night.